But the question is, did the president make the right decision? Let's get the view of Texas Congressman and member of the House Armed Services Committee, Pat Fallon, who's also an Air Force veteran. Congressman Fallon, good to see you. Thanks for coming back.
Sean, thanks for having me. Hi, Mercedes. How are you?
Good to see you.
Great to see you all.
Hey, so Congressman, the president snapped at a reporter today when he was asked if he trusted the Taliban in these negotiations. Take a listen.
Do you trust the Taliban, sir?
Is that a serious question?
It's absolutely a serious question. Do you trust the Taliban?
No, I do not.
The country to the Taliban.
No, I do not trust the Taliban.
Will you amplify your answer, please, why you don't trust the Taliban?
It's a silly question. Do I trust the Taliban? No. But I trust the capacity of the Afghan military, who is better trained, better equipped, and more competent in terms of conducting war.
Congressman, the Taliban is gaining strength in Afghanistan. It's just a matter of time before they take over. And the president today said that that's not the case and that a Taliban takeover is not inevitable. I don't know how. They rule by brutality and women have no basic rights. President Trump was able to gather a coalition, but without him in charge, there's a vacuum. Where does this thing end up?
Well, Sean, the Taliban knows one thing: strength. And if you can project power and strength, then and only then will they come to the table. But once you show weakness, they are like hyenas. They're going to surround their government and they're going to attack. This is the same regime. When they were in power, they harbored Islamo-fascist terrorists that murdered 3,000 American citizens. And then we were there to prevent them from becoming another safe harbor and a sanctuary. And I fear that the Biden administration picked an arbitrary date, Sean, and not certain conditions being met. And they're acting incredibly naive.
Yes, that's right, Congressman. And we know that President Biden, when he was chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee in 2002, he said, we will never walk away from Afghanistan. Now he's reversing his position. But where's the pushback on the switching of this position?
Well, we're pushing back, but as you all know, Republicans currently in Washington are in the wilderness. But we still have to point out to folks that this is an incredibly dangerous policy. This regime murders women that are caught reading, that can conjugate verbs. How dare they? So you can't get more, you want to talk about true Neanderthals? It's not Texans coming back from, reinstituting freedoms post-COVID. It's this regime that murders women because they're literate and murders Americans because we dare to celebrate freedom and liberty. This should have... nobody wants this war to go on indefinitely, but at the same time, if we leave prematurely, we've wasted how many lives have been sacrificed, right, and how much material and money. This is a tragic decision by Joe Biden.
So it's not just the Taliban. There's a report in the Wall Street Journal that China's strategic relationship with the Taliban is giving Beijing more clout in the region. And everyone in D.C. loves to talk tough on China, but here we are again. We just handed China a major gift. So why is no one calling this out?
Well, again, there are some that are calling it out when we need to continue to. And it's unfortunate because we're going to know what's going to happen. The most likely scenario here is that the Taliban takes over and then they reinstitute the tyranny that on the Afghan people. And as you just mentioned, Sean, from a geopolitical standpoint, it strengthens China because then they have influence. Then they'll, use their Belt and Road initiative. And the Taliban, one of the most evil and corrupt regimes, they've already proven themselves to be one of the most evil and corrupt regimes in the world. Nothing has changed. 20 years to these folks is, just a blink of an eye.
So shifting gears here a little bit, one of your colleagues, Rashida Tlaib, called for the defunding of the Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Patrol, and ICE. What's your reaction?
My reaction is that my colleague from the other side of the aisle is absolutely insane. I mean, nuts. Like she would dismantle this nation. It's just astounding that somebody like her can be elected to the United States Congress. I serve with her on the Oversight Committee, and I really do enjoy it when I get my 5 minutes to talk, unfiltered about the greatness of this country and the things that really need to happen moving forward. And it throws the squad off. Sean, it's great. They have their prepared 5 minutes that somebody else wrote for them. And I say things that just offend them so much that then they have to start talking about what I just said. Like, I just can't believe this hater. But you know what? This is about the greatest country history's ever known, the freedoms. They don't want to go anywhere else. I don't want to go anywhere else, because this is the last bastion of freedom and liberty we have, and we need to do everything we can to uphold it. And I know Mercedes and Sean are doing just that.
Well, thank you. I also think it's amazing that she gets away with this and no one in the mainstream media says anything. Republicans say a peep out of the mainstream and they get called nuts and they need to apologize. She calls for dismantling the DHS and no one says anything. Congressman, obviously, I appreciate your comments, your service to this country, and your input on this important issue. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you all. God bless. Take care.
All right, well, coming up, Chicago crime, it's spinning out of control. And its mayor claims this: anyone who dares criticize her, you know what? Then you're a sexist and a racist. We're going to actually speak to a man whose 1-month-old niece was shot in the head last week. His calls for justice and what he thinks about the mayor. That's next.
You worked hard. You saved responsibly your entire life. But now your retirement money could be in jeopardy. Thanks to a new law, the IRS could hit you with a 50% tax without warning. Find out more. Get the New Retirement Savings Time Bomb by Ed Slott. Claim your free copy today. This best-selling book reveals how the government's new rules could cut your retirement